Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we are diving deep into a question that really blurs the line between wild science fiction and the very definition of, well, you. So let's just jump right in with a thought experiment. Okay, picture this. The very moment your biological life ends, a perfect digital copy of your mind, everything you are, wakes up. It has every single memory, every fear, every half-finished thought you've ever had. The big question, the one we're wrestling with today, is this. Is that you?
You know, this whole idea is really the core promise of what people call digital immortality. It's this super tempting idea that we can basically cheat death by trading our fragile biological bodies for a much, much more durable home in silicone.
And look, we're not just talking about some chatbot that sounds like you. No, a true digital you would have to be a perfect one-to-one copy of your entire mind. We're talking about the whole shebang, your memories, your personality, your unique way of seeing the world, even that song that gets stuck in your head. Okay, so let's tackle the first and honestly, the most intuitive answer to that big question we asked. And that argument basically says, yeah, of course it's you. If the data is a perfect match, then your identity just continues.
Now, this whole way of thinking is grounded in a philosophical idea called psychological continuity. And the core belief is pretty simple, right? It says that you aren't your physical body. You're not the meat and bones. You are the pattern of information in your brain. You're the software, not the hardware. Here's a really easy way to wrap your head around this. Think of it like a document on your computer. Your brain, that's a file on your local hard drive. The upload process, that's just copying that file to a cloud server. So is it still the same document? Yeah, of course it is. The information is identical. So why wouldn't your consciousness be the same?
And this all boils down to one powerful idea. Your identity. Who you are, it lies in the information itself, not the physical stuff, the substrate, that happens to be holding it at the moment.
Okay, so that sounds pretty neat and tidy, right? But here's where it gets complicated. The whole argument hits this massive snag, and that's what we call the duplication dilemma.
Because it turns out, all you have to do is make one tiny tweak to our little scenario, and the whole beautiful analogy just completely breaks. So what's the tweak? It's this. What if that digital copy gets activated before you die? While you, the original you, are still walking around, very much alive.
Boom. Suddenly, you've got a huge problem. There are two of you. The original you is still in your body with this continuous, unbroken stream of consciousness. But at the exact same time, the digital you is starting its own brand new consciousness on a server somewhere. They might share a past, but from that second forward, they're two different people having two different sets of experiences.
You know, what's funny is that this super modern sci-fi problem, it actually connects back to a really, really old philosophical puzzle about what it even means for something to be the same thing over time. I'm talking about the famous ship of Theseus paradox. The question is, if you have a ship, and over time you replace every single plank of wood one by one, when you're done, is it still the same ship? It's all about what makes something itself. But here's the thing, our digital dilemma is way trickier than the ship. See, with the ship, the change is slow, it's gradual, and you're replacing wood with, well, more wood. But with the digital self, it happens all at once, instantaneously, and you're not swapping flesh for flesh, you're swapping it for silicon. This isn't a continuous history, it's a fork in the road. This really gets to the heart of it. The copy might remember my entire life, everything I've ever done. But from that moment of creation forward, I did not live its existence. Its new experiences are not my experiences. They're totally separate. So, where does that leave us? Well, it brings us to our final thought here, which is maybe the problem isn't the answer. Maybe the problem is the question itself. What if this whole dilemma only exists because we're thinking about the self, about I, in the wrong way? So think about it. Do we see our identity as a noun, a static thing, like a file on a computer that you can copy, paste, and back up? Or is identity a verb, a continuous process, something you do, an experience that has to be lived second by second, something that can't be copied, only continued? And you know what? There are no easy answers here. This whole thought experiment, it doesn't really solve the puzzle for us. Instead, what it does is hold up a mirror
It forces us to really look at what we believe about ourselves, about what it even means to be a person. And that's what I want to leave you with. That feeling of I, the thing we all work so hard to understand and preserve. Is that something that can even be copied in the first place? Or is you something that's defined only by its one unique, unrepeatable journey through time?